All right, so what I'm doing right now is, this is the 5.0 RESTO Mustang Fender hardware kit. All right, we actually installed our driver's side fender. Came out really nice. Reused these you can get separate. I actually cleaned these up. I just painted them black. It's just easier for me, so you can paint them to match your car if you so desire. Now these, where are they at? Those rubber things. Okay, these come in a different kit. So this is your rubbers and your hood stops up here at the top. All right, these actually get installed into your fender here and here. All right, now on top of that you have these clips. All right, so we're gonna need a couple of these. All right, I'm just gonna try to get a couple of these set out where I want them. All right, so these are gonna go here. They'll start sliding over this way, and sometimes you can get a flathead screwdriver and push them just a little bit. This one here will go from this side. Okay, this one here, someone at one time made the custom hole, so it's not as enjoyable to install. So that one we're going to need to push over with a screwdriver also. Ooh, there we go. All right, so we have that one installed. There's also a clip that gets installed down here. They are pretty tight. Now I'm going to be replacing this and putting a new one here, and I'll be well, there's one here, so we can install the new one right away. All right, one goes right there. Okay, now we need one more. Okay, so we got this one. We're going to come down here on the bottom. There's actually an old one here. We're going to be removing this one. And I don't know, hopefully, I would have thought this one might just work. See the length of where the hole is. Ford did have these longer ones and they had the shorter ones. It all depended on where they put the clips, which was kind of cool back in the day. But we'll just double check that before we remove that one. But that's where we want to set this other clip. I also have, hopefully, I just stuck it in here. There is a new antenna kit, so I'll have to find that. I think it's in here. Let's find out. All right, so this is that, but I'm actually going to be waiting on this because these fenders, I want to give them a quick little wet sand and a buff so they blend in better with the rest of the car, since I wet sanded and buffed everything else. So this whole front end is going to need to be done, and the trunk lid at one time. So we're going to hold off on that, but I'm going to get the rest of these clips in, and then the next thing we need to have ready is these and these. All right, now these ones here have the large washers, okay, and that is for this, so it can go in here and you can have room for adjustment and still have the washer to cover. The other one with the large washer goes down here in the bottom. I think they show you a lot of this on the paper, but I just know from memory. And then you have these right here, so it'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there, just like we did here. You can tell they got the nice zinc covered bolts. All right, so just real quick here and simple, let's pop one of these out. All right, these are just going to go in that hole. They slide. Try not to move the fender here, but they slide right in, okay, just like that. They'll push in just with a little bit of force. We gotta get it. There we go. Okay, so there they are. That's how you install that. All right, so like I said, I'm gonna get the rest of these clips installed. Here's just real quick, like this here. You can get behind here and kind of push a little bit. Okay, you don't have to guide it in. All right, but there's your clip. So that gives you your in and out movement. All right, and then these holes here are owed front to back, so that gives you your front to back away. All right, so basically what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to get this front end hung, get some parts out of the way. But what we're doing right now, this is basically, we're just covering all this stuff with the fender. So real quick here, I just figure since we're here, these fender clips, if you stick, this one's actually kind of popped out, but if you get a screwdriver in here, you want to pull this part here. This is actually the spring that holds that in. Give it a little bit of bend, and then you can work the old clip right off like that. The new one will slide down in, and it'll reuse that little clip, and that'll actually be what actually supports that and holds that in, like we just pushed in up here. Okay, so let's grab this one. We'll just push this one in here quick. All right. Okay, so new clips are installed. I'm gonna finish everything else up and we'll get the fender set on. I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so grabbing a couple of these bolts just so I have them ready to go. I also have my 8mm. Now I'm doing this by myself, so I'm going to be very careful. You can also take tape and tape your edges if you're worried about chipping any of your paint, like I should be, but I feel pretty confident. I've done so many of these. All right, now that I got all the upper ones started, I'm going to do the one at the bottom of the fender. Not getting too crazy, just stugging stuff up. Now, basically, I pushed up on this. Now, as you see, we're still out pretty far here. This is just basic alignment. I'm just getting these put on so that anytime the door is opened or the hood's moved up and down, we don't have any interference for now, till we get our final alignment done. Now, I'm gonna come up here. And this is going to be the fun one. It's going to be a little hard to see. So, let's see. Now, grab this. Oh, that actually made us pretty tight. So, let's... Like, I didn't test fit any of this stuff before we did paint work, which is really something that you should do. Okay. Now, when you lift out on this corner, it pushes that top in too. So it's good to get this support on also. Now I got the top one snugged up a little bit just to kind of hold everything in place. So once the bumper cover's on, that's where this final alignment here is going to be. So now we're down to this last flat one, which is going to go inside here. All right, so I have this really long extension that locks my socket on, which so I don't drop it. So I'm going to use this and feed it in and get it started. But since I'm not completely adjusted, when I open this door, I'm going to be very careful to make sure that I don't hit nothing. As large as this gap is here, we should not have an issue. I mean, basically, we are pretty close as far as our alignment is. And like I was saying, this is just to get the fenders hung on the vehicle for now. I got to put the hood on. The door alignment is where you start. So you'll get that part done, and then across your bottom and your top. And then you know where that needs to be, all right? Usually you try to get your gap. Like, I'm pretty tight here on this back side. I can tell just by looking at it. So I'll have to figure out where this is going to come out, along with my alignment on my fenders. So some stuff, there is a little bit of play. The part that does suck is this is really, really tight right here. So we might, you know, there's really no room to move this back. So this just might just be because of the way this molding here is, and the way it lines up. All I can tell you is sometimes lining panels up on a car is pretty much a pain in the neck. Okay, so I want to show you just a little bit more here. Basically, they go through, they have everything labeled, you know, A through H, and they actually show you the locations of everything here, where the bolts go, because we use bolt B, like I showed you. Bolt B goes here, and B goes down here in the bottom. C is also one of the clips that goes down there. Now the E's are going to be, dump this back out and show you guys. Now here's plastic clips, plastic clip H. They'll go a couple different places. They're the ones that hold your splash shields in. They give you more antenna screws, which I have doubles of those now. These are extra clips because I reused my factory ones that hold my hinges in. All this hardware is new. So this hardware came with these to replace them rubber seals here on the hood hinges. So that stuff's all installed. Now you have E, which is some shorter ones, and G are a little bit longer. The shorter ones will go up in here into where your fender goes, up through here, and the longer ones will go the other places. But like I said, they provide you with even the clips to stick on the actual splash guard itself, which is very helpful when installing this stuff, especially when you're working on a car as old as this. Everything was in pretty decent shape. I mean, this thing just sat outside for the last 8 years. It's been sitting inside for a couple now, but it's a full restoration right now. So, but anyway, that's your Fender hardware kit. It is very nice and supplied. I remember when I did work on these things and had them apart, I had bins and bins full of bolts and screws, and I knew where they all went, so I didn't really need this. It is a nice refresher guide because I haven't really done much with these cars now for quite a few years. So yeah, so there, I mean, the fenders are on. That's what you got to do. That's how they go on. That's a real quick alignment guide, and hey man, I'm off to the next thing on this car.